Yo! Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 10 of Nosebleeders. I got a brand new mic, so hopefully things are sounding a little bit more crisp and just better sounding quality overall. So just let me know in the comments if you can tell a difference. Little quick recap. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Mahomes finally got his first ring. He's only 24. And Andy Reid finally getting a Super Bowl ring. 21 years in the league. Yeah. That's crazy. So good for Andy Reid. And also good for my Mortal Lock. I gave you that NFL 8-1 Mortal Locks on the season on the show. I don't know why everyone's still fading me. I'm 8-1 on NFL Mortal Locks. And it can't carry over next season. But just remember that for next season when I come back for NFL Mortal Locks, you trust what I say and you don't fade me because I'm 8-1 in the NFL. So none of that next year. You want to talk about?
All right. So we just got. There's a couple things to talk about with the Super Bowl. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we're gonna give you a couple talking points about it. Put your own opinions down in the comments below, and then we're gonna give some way too early, just like top 5 power rankings for next year. So the first question is, who is most to blame for the 49ers Super Bowl loss? You want to start out on this one?
Yeah. This is not Garoppolo's fault in any way. I'm a big-time Garoppolo fan because Eastern Illinois. I'm biased, but truthfully, he played great 3 quarters of football. His QBR in the fourth quarter was not so good, but that comes back to the play calling that Shanahan was drawing up, not running the ball. The Niners win this game if they continue to run the ball. They had success all night, just like they did last game.
Well, and it opened up in the fourth quarter. They were getting stuffed in that first half.
Sure.
But that third quarter, you could see the running game clicked like that. So you really got to... it was working in the fourth quarter, and they just went away from it.
Yeah. It comes back to Shanahan, unfortunately. It does. It does. And all credit to the Chiefs and Mahomes, what he was able to do when down 10. As you guys probably already know, 3 straight games in the playoffs of a 10-point deficit, coming back and obviously winning. So big on Mahomes. He's a big-time player. He's going to be in the league for a long time and probably be back in the Super Bowl several times to come. Exciting times for Kansas City and Missouri. Yeah.
So, that's... There's a lot to look at with that. I had the 49ers winning. They were up 10, and as soon as they got up 10, I looked at Seth and I said, shit, they went up 10 points. Mm-hmm. Can we give the game to the Chiefs now? Because, again, go down 10 or more, and they win it every time, it seems like.
Yeah.
I do agree, this is Shanahan's fault. He is the biggest choke artist in NFL history. I think it wasn't in the fourth quarter in the last two Super Bowls he's been in. He was the offensive coordinator when the Falcons collapsed 28-3. Then they were up 20-10, and he collapsed here too in the fourth quarter. I think he was outscored 40-something to 0 in the fourth quarter of Super Bowls. That is atrocious.
Not a good number to have.
And then I keep going back to this. When you look at the first quarter, the first half, they have the ball with a minute left, 3 timeouts, and they don't decide to do anything until 10 seconds left when Kittle gets called for a highly questionable OPI. There's
disastrous play calling and clock management.
I don't get that. How can you coach scared when it's a tied game, you have 3 timeouts, and you're going, it's all his fault when you're looking at it. He went away from the game plan. Mm-hmm. Now, that's everybody's take is going to say it's on the coach. Garoppolo is to blame a little bit. He had a decent game, but you cannot overthrow a receiver who has 5 yards of separation. You cannot overthrow him by 10 yards when you're down by 4 in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl when you get paid $137 million for a contract. You're getting paid $26 million a year. You're a franchise quarterback. How can you can't miss that throw? It's on Garoppolo a little bit. He literally threw a blind interception. Just threw it up, and it got picked off.
He was trying to throw it out.
He threw an interception. He closed his eyes. There's a lot to look at here. but I think the blame goes on Shanahan. He's a choke artist. He's not good, but Garoppolo is to blame a little bit too, because I mean they made him throw the ball and he failed at the biggest moments, and that's both ways.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the Super Bowl. The under hit by like 1 or 2.
Yeah, but I did give the under. I didn't put it on my card,
yeah.
but I did say the under.
One more thing with the Super Bowl. Niners fans were chirping at Saints fans after the Vikings game about all the refs shit, and now all of a sudden you're the crybabies now. So shut the hell up about that. We don't want to hear it, all right? Because we've been telling you all along that Bill Vonovich is the worst referee in the league, or official. So
he's terrible.
He's the worst. So yeah, now we can move. Well, actually, one more thing in the recap.
We got a couple things.
Yeah.
So, as of now, if the league reset, is Patrick Mahomes the number 1 overall pick in a complete NFL reset?
Yeah.
I would agree. I think people could argue Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has to be in the right system. He's not a system quarterback.
As of right now, he's still a regular season quarterback.
Yeah.
He hasn't proved himself in the playoffs. Mahomes has, so I would take a champion over someone like Lamar Jackson, who obviously is very talented and an MVP in its own right. But unanimous, that's a different story. I didn't agree with that all the way, but...
It'll be very interesting because I think Mahomes already... Like, I remember Troy Aikman came out with a tweet last season after they lost to the Patriots, and everybody was saying Mahomes is just the greatest of all time. And he said, "Get back to me when he has a third of my rings."
Yeah.
Well, he did it the next year. I mean, Mahomes is at that different level when you're looking at the quarterbacks. Like, you have Mahomes, and then you have Watson and Jackson.
I'd say Mahomes is the most gifted athlete on the planet.
He's insane. If you look him up for high school.
Well, he did things at Texas A&M, baseball, basketball, not.
Well, Texas Tech.
Yeah,
but he went to Texas Tech.
Right. Oh, what did it say?
A&M.
Well, Texas A&M. Oh, he went to
Tech.
Oh my, my bad.
Texas. But if you look him up from high school, he was the Max Preps Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 20-point scorer in basketball, averaged 20 points a game as a junior, led his team to wasn't in a state championship his senior year, and then got drafted by the Tigers to play professional baseball. Like, he is an insane athlete and talent. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then in college basketball news, Illinois did lose to Iowa in a really close game, thanks to the refs giving Garza every call he wanted because he's a little baby bitch, and I don't like him. I don't like Garza at all. He was the most hated player on the whole game afterwards, like with the coaches chirping at each other with that last-second dunk. I think
that
Illinois
was disrespectful.
Yeah, Iowa and Illinois is a new college basketball rivalry, I think. So that'll be really interesting. The last game of the regular season for Illinois is at Iowa and Champaign, so that will be fun to watch.
Sold out crowd already.
Oh yeah, sold out. I think Illinois sold out the rest of their seats for the rest of the season. That's great. Illinois is now ranked 20th. Yeah.
A lot of upsets this week. Saturday was just upset central. I mean, Big East, their 3 teams that are ranked went 0-3 against non-ranked opponents. Like, It was crazy. And they only fell back like 2 spots each, which, with how many people lost, like Michigan State lost, those 3 teams lost. I mean, you had 5 of the top 25 teams lose, and there wasn't much movement in the top 15. It was a little weird.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up the top 25 here so you can look at that or whatever you want to do with that. So yeah, without further ado, I guess we can get into college basketball picks. First game we have is Villanova at Butler. I'm going to start with you. Who do you like?
We actually have some of the spreads that really early spreads. Butler is favored 2.5. Give me Butler here. I mean, there's not a hungry dog runs faster. Both teams lost at home against unranked teams. I'm going to take Butler. I think that they get a Big East win. Take them in points.
Yeah, I think the Butler is the better team, and they're at home, so I'll just take Butler here as well. I think this game isn't that hard. I think Butler will cover this game easily at home. Next game, Iowa at Purdue, a struggling Purdue team, but as we all know, Purdue at home is unbeatable. So, I'll start with you. Like, this game's kind of interesting. Who do you like?
It's really interesting, actually. Purdue has been just bad this year. They really have not been good. Iowa is one of the best teams, not only in the country, but they are a top team in the Big Ten against the spread. Give me Iowa in the points here. It's hard to win it at Mackey, but I don't think Purdue's very good, and I'm gonna take Iowa in the points.
Yeah, this game is hard. Iowa could come into this game favored.
No, Purdue's -3.5.
Wow.
I figured they'd be 3.5.
It's crazy what Mackey can do for this Purdue team. I'll take Purdue. In the points -3.5. I think they laid the number here, mainly because I don't really like Iowa right now. But I think this is a smart pick too because Purdue at home, as we all know, very good. So, yeah. Next game, moving on, is USC at Arizona. I'm gonna start with you again.
I didn't realize USC was 17-5. I don't get how that's not ranked, especially after all the top teams that it lost. Arizona finally got back into the rankings. I think they're very good. I think this will probably be like a 5.5 point spread for Arizona. Lay the points. Give me Arizona at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the same pick as well. Never mind. Arizona will cover here. They're ranked again. I think this team is finally back on the right direction. They kind of fell into a slump. Arizona's back at home against USC. I think Arizona wins and covers as well. Next game, it's Big Ten time. Maryland at Illinois.
It's Friday.
Friday? Okay. I'll start with you again. Who do you like?
This game is just, again, I will say it's like the odd makers don't know what to do with Illinois. I don't know what the spread will look like. I think Illinois will be favored. I'm gonna say Illinois -4.5. I think they'll be favored fairly big here, but I could be wrong. Maryland might be favored. That's probably least likely to happen. Give me Maryland in the points. Now, if Illinois is an underdog, give me Illinois. I'm going with whoever is the underdog in this, but I think that Illinois will be favored, so I'll take Maryland.
All right. I'm going to take Illinois here. I'm an Illinois fan. Illinois home. It's going to be packed. They're playing against a team that they lost previously by 1 in Maryland. Should have beat them. So they're going to be hungry for this win. Big time. Hungry dog runs faster. I tell you this all the time. Illinois in the points. Next game, LSU at Auburn. I'm going to start with you again. Who do you like? SEC.
LSU is the top team in the SEC. And they're 8-0. And I think Auburn will probably be favored like 4 points here. It's at Auburn. Auburn's a really good team. LSU likes to keep games close, though. They went on like a 5-game stretch where they won by a total of like 14 points. That's how much they won by in all games combined was 15. Give me LSU in the points. I love LSU in the points.
Damn it. I have the same pick. I can't believe this is happening. LSU is the hungrier dog here. LSU is working some magic right now. I think they're one of the top college basketball teams. You don't want to play LSU right now. I'll take LSU in the points. They might not be favored, which doesn't matter. Lay the points on LSU. They will cover this game. Next game, it's an in-state rival. Michigan State at Michigan. You're the Michigan State fan. I'm going to start. This game is home at Ann Arbor for Michigan. It's an early game. I'll take Michigan in the points here. I think at home, this is a different team. Michigan will cover whatever the points is against Michigan State. Michigan at home. And hungrier dog runs faster. This team is hungry.
I love Michigan State. They are dog shit on the road. They are atrocious on the road. They're terrible. They are dog shit on the road. Give me Michigan. I think Michigan will be favored here. I think they're starting to heat up. They're starting to get back. They got livers going back again. Give me Michigan. Hate to say it, but we're giving out winners. So,
all right. Next game, St. Louis at the number 6 ranked Dayton, who I gave you as my personal favorite to win it all this year. Dayton is my best future pick. I found them at plus like 4,000 or maybe 10,000, something crazy like that. Not good odds. Now they're all of a sudden they're like plus 1,000. So like I had them early. I know this team well. Dayton is probably the better team here, but I'm start with you because you picked this game for a reason.
Look, St. Louis and Dayton played before. They played in St. Louis. Dayton had to win on a buzzer beater in overtime. I think Dayton will be favored fairly large here. 6.5, 7 points. St. Louis in the points. St. Louis in the points.
Dayton's going to come into this game favored 20, 30, 40 points. And I'll take Dayton. Dayton in the points. They'll lay this number because they're the best team in the nation. They're 9-0 in the conference. They have no reason to
Dog
lose
shit
now.
Conference. Look at the conference they play in. It's terrible.
Who cares? Dayton in the points. Next game is Seton Hall at Nova. I'll start here. This game's interesting. Seton Hall, very hard team to understand.
Very good against the spread.
Very good against the spread. However, Nova at home, it's a Big East game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be electric. Give me Nova in the points they cover at home.
Hungry Dog runs faster. We said earlier, Butler is going to wipe the floor with Villanova. Villanova needs a big win at home. Villanova gets the win here.
Yep.
And they cover.
Next game, Dick Vitale game.
Has made an impact.
Who will take the shot?
Will he make a bigger impact?
Rivers!
Unbelievable!
This is going to be such a bad game.
Yep. Duke at North Carolina. North Carolina, probably the worst team in the ACC.
Oh, they're bad.
This game is easy to me. Duke will be favored, but they'll still cover this number. North Carolina, not a great team this year at all. Duke, the better team, they cover.
There's nothing more that needs to be said. Give me Duke.
Yeah. Next game is Gonzaga at St. Mary's. Gonzaga plays nobodies every year. They play in a nobody conference, and they're now the favorite to win the title. Makes no sense to me. I hate Gonzaga. St. Mary's at home. This place is going to be bumping. Give me St. Mary's and the points. They cover whatever the number is. It might be 10. So just give me St. Mary's and the points. Lay the number.
I think St. Mary's might be favored here. I think they might pull I think there's been some weirder things. Illinois was a 1.5 point favorite over Michigan when Michigan was number 4. Give me Gonzaga, though. They keep rolling. I hate them, but they don't play anybody, and let Gonzaga fans get their hopes up.
All right, last game is Sunday. Ohio State at Wisconsin. I'm going to start with you. Who do you like?
Ohio State on the road. That is vomit. Give me Wisconsin in the points.
Yeah, Wisconsin at the Kohl Center. As many of you know, the best home team in the Big Ten, arguably, right behind Mackey, I would say, like in Purdue. I'm going to lay the number on Wisconsin here again because I think this team is hot. They just came off a big win against Michigan State.
Yeah, they beat Michigan State
by
1.
And Wisconsin, I would say, is the hungrier dog here. At home, they cover this number as well. So that's all the picks we had for college basketball. So next topic, get into the NBA. First game in the NBA slate, we have 4. Pacers at Raptors. The line already came out, right?
Yeah, I saw Raptors -6 is the line that I saw. So
I'll start. I'll take the Raptors and the points here only because they're at home and the Pacers did come off a really disappointing loss to the Knicks. But I'll take the Raptors here.
Look, I want to point out, I went 2-2 last week in the NBA, and I'm 1-0 in NBA Mortal Locks.
I went 3-1 in NBA last week, so don't think
my Mortal Lock hit. I know what I'm talking about. Raptors in the points. They cover 6, 18-7 at home. Toronto, literally they have an entire country behind them. It's the Raptors.
All right. Next game is Heat at Clippers. Clippers are coming into this game as 6.5 point favorites. I'm going to lay the number on the Clippers here. The Heat on the road, 12-12, not so good. Clippers 21-5 at home. Hopefully Kawhi plays. They cover 6.5 here.
I'm going to take the Heat in the points. I think 6.5 is a little bit too big. I don't think that the Heat will win this game outright, but give me the Heat in the points.
All right. Do you know when this game is? Rockets at Lakers, TNT. Lakers at home. They did lose their last home game in a disappointing fashion thanks to Damian Lillard being one of the best players in the league right now. I'll take the Lakers in the points. I think they're the hungrier dog here, and I don't like the Rockets at all. So give me the Lakers.
Yeah, I'll take the Lakers too. I don't get what the hype is with the Rockets. I think they're average if at best.
All right, so last game is Jazz at Rockets. I'll start here. I don't like the Rockets, as I just said, so I'll take the Jazz. In the points, I think they will not be favored to win this game, but they cover the number.
Give me the Jazz here too. I think that they cover. I think they match up better. The Rockets are trying to figure out some trades. I see dysfunction. Give me the Jazz to cover here.
All right. So that's it for NBA picks. We're going to briefly talk about some NBA snubs for the All-Star game. Right here is the starting lineups for the East and the West. So you can look at that there. And then the full roster is there as well now. So you can look at that, make your own judgments and stuff. But some notable names were left off. First, Bradley Beal. The guy's been playing outstanding all year. He verbally said on media that he's pretty disappointed that he didn't make it. And another name that I thought definitely should have made the All-Star list was Devin Booker. In the NBA's respect, I mean, a lot of players, they all deserve to make the NBA All-Star team as well. But I feel like Devin Booker could have found a way to get a pick for All-Star game. I think he should have made the lineup.
Yeah. We're gonna give you just who we think, one person that shouldn't have been on the team or we think just shouldn't be there, and one person we think that really was like a big snub. I mean, I've been looking at this for a while, and I think that really the one player that doesn't make sense is Chris Paul as an All-Star.
He's been leading the Thunder to a better record than people were assuming. 17.1 points per game, I think, is the last I saw. So, I mean, he's doing numbers, but I would
Devin Booker, man. You have to put him in there.
I would say so.
That one surprised me, seeing Chris Paul in there. That was probably my biggest surprise, and one that shouldn't be where they're at. I mean, do you have a different one?
No, that's about it, I think.
And then one thing that sort of stands out to me is Trey Young being a starter in it. I don't see it as much. I
do, for people wondering.
I think winning should count for something when you're looking at starting lineups. He's the best player on the team. Don't get me wrong. He should be an all-star.
29 points per game. That's it. And 9 assists per game? I mean, that's...
29-9, that's good. No one's debating that. But he's the best player on, the second or third worst team in the league.
That's fair.
Jimmy Butler should be in the starting lineup, in my opinion. He's the best player on the second to third best team in the East. I don't get why he's not a starter, and I guess you could say because he's a forward and Trey Young's a guard. Whatever. That line is becoming such a... He started out as a shooting guard. Jimmy Butler did. Yeah. I think Trey Young should be a reserve. Jimmy Butler should be a starter this year. His numbers are great. I think he should still be an all-star. Comment down below who you think is a snub. Do you agree with us, disagree with us? And then I think we just briefly going over the new format for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's too confusing for me to understand. I've seen 100 tweets about how it's supposed to work. See, it's too much math for me. I don't get it.
To me, it makes sense.
How do I bet the over? If it resets to 0, right? How do totals work? If someone wanted to bet over 290 points for the game.
It's basically 3 games and then you add up those points, and then whoever has the most amount of points, you add 24 to that number. So say it's like 195. The first team to score 124 points wins the game. It's an untimed. I love it. I think it's going to be a cool way to reinvent the game a little bit, bring in some more exciting action. I like it. I'll actually watch it just to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. Now for my I'm looking forward to this so much because my heart hurt a little when the NFL ended, but thankfully we have the XFL.
What the XFL is cooking.
The XFL is here, ladies and gentlemen. It's back. It's
Jump
so
on the
back.
bandwagon now.
Yes, please.
If you haven't, jump on it now.
Comment your favorite teams right now so we know.
We will be covering this pretty extensively when it gets going because it's one of the only things on right now. I mean, you got college basketball and the XFL. NBA, no one really cares about.
Yeah. So every weekend they play Saturday and Sunday. So we have 2 games on Saturday. The first one is Seattle at the DC Defenders. And the DC's favored 7 points. So I'll ask you, who do you like?
Seattle Dragons are touted to be the worst team in the league. And they're Benji's favorite team. Fade Benji 2020. Give me DC. DC wins in a rout.
Yeah.
Cardale Jones air raid the hell out of the Dragons.
DC will win and cover this point. 7 points, not a lot of points for the XFL. If you don't know the rules with points and stuff, definitely check that out. I'll leave a link in the description for the rules for the XFL. So I'll take DC here. But if they lose, this is 100% on PFT not being on the team.
Yes.
If you don't know who PFT is, he's a Barstool Sports, pardon my take, host. So, and he was supposed to be a kicker for this team. It's really disappointed he got cut. DC, they win and cover here, though.
I almost want to say Seattle in a bite you in the ass game, but
Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to take DC.
Next game, Los Angeles Wildcats at the Houston Roughnecks. This game is at 4 o'clock on Fox on Saturday. The Roughnecks are coming in this game favored 5. I'll start with you.
Here's the thing. This is a new concept.
Right.
The XFL.
No one knows what to expect.
Yeah. you got to look at the rosters. Seriously, buy into this now. It should be a great time. We'll have plenty of coverage on it. We'll be talking about it in our videos. Houston's roster looks very good. They have a lot of talent. Give me Houston in the points here. I lay the number. I think they cover and they win this game.
All right. Looking at this game, I've seen LA's roster. Not anything too impressive. I think Houston at home will be the better team. They win and cover. Houston in the points. Next game, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Tampa Bay Vipers at the New York Guardians. The Guardians are coming in as 5.5 underdogs at home. So I'll start here. The Vipers have a great roster. It's on the road. I don't know if there's any real fans in New York anyway to make it any kind of anything to make that change. I'll take Tampa in the points here. I'll lay the points again. 5.5. They cover.
I'm not picking the favorite every time. I have so far. It stops now. New York covers this. I don't think they win, but Mark Trestman is the coach of the Tampa Bay Vipers. He's going to have to earn a lot of respect back after his Bears outing. Give me the Guardians.
All right. Next game is St. Louis at Dallas. I'm a Battlehawks fan, so I'll take St. Louis in the points here. They're 7-point underdogs in this game, so I'm just going to lay the number here. I think they cover.
Okay. Dallas is the favorite to win the championship this year. They got Bob Stoops, I believe, the former coach at Oklahoma, as their head coach. Probably have the most NFL experienced roster. They're laying 7. Take the Renegades! It's all Dallas!
Hell no.
Battlehawks get shit on in this game. They are terrible. Take Dallas. It's all Dallas.
Hell no. Hell no. So, yeah. Odds for the 2020 XFL championship game are here. If you're curious on what to kind of expect. So, I see some great value here. St. Louis Battlehawks.
13. No. That is terrible.
That's great value. Great
That
value
is
for your buck.
atrocious. Roughnecks. Look at the Roughnecks. They have some good talent.
Oh, so we're... Oh. Andrew doesn't have a favorite team because he's a little bitch. So
Nah, well, I was going to be a Defenders fan, and then they cut PFT. I'm like, no. I'm not doing that.
yeah, so that'll do it for the XFL picks and whatnot. So now it's time to get into Mortal Locks. I actually haven't chosen a Mortal Lock yet. Andrew, have you?
Yeah, I'm looking over
so
this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna look at.
I'm looking over this, and I'm glad I'm going first because I think he'll love this pick. Looking at it, there's one game that stands out, and that is Duke pisses on North Carolina. This game, I don't care if Duke's favored 15. Lay the points. It's all Duke. Duke wins this in a rout. I don't care that it's in Chapel Hill. I don't care that it's UNC is the home team. Duke wins in a rout.
Listen to me very carefully. 8-1 NFL Mortal Locks. That's so hot. That's like a forest fire burning, and no one can stop it. Okay, that's me. That's what my picks are right now in Mortal Lock. When I give you this pick, you should not even bother watching the game because I gave you this pick, and there's no reason to even watch it because Wisconsin at home at the Kohl Center will cover the number against Ohio State. This game shouldn't be a problem for Wisconsin to cover. At home, they might be favored 6 because it's at home, so give me Wisconsin at home. Wisconsin covers whatever number they give them. Wisconsin at home, they're the hungrier dog. They win this game at home. Big time win for Wisconsin. That's my Mortal Lock. So now we can get into a little bit of comments that we received from last episode. If I can get it. So first comment was Benji, who Benji missed the last episode. He couldn't be here, and he couldn't be here today because he's at chapter or something. I don't know. But he just gave his picks here if you want to look at that.
We both went 6-6 on our prop bets, by the way.
Yeah. 6-6 on prop bets, so not bad. Cam Sports says, great video. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Y'all really skipped my comments. Yeah, so not this time, Keller. We got you here. Yeah, I said that's my bad. Lunchtime said, first, we appreciate all of our post notification gang. That's awesome. We see the views go up really fast, so we appreciate all of you who watch us as soon as we upload. Colton Coy said, Swanee knows what's up with the Niners. Well, obviously he doesn't. Because I gave you a Mortal Lock on the Chiefs when I was 7-1 in the NFL, and now I'm 8-1. So just try not to fade me anymore, okay? Just get that through your skull, okay? I'm going to continue to stay hot. I'm not slowing down anytime soon.
It's the same person that said fruit punch is the best flavor.
That's true. So he's kind of that's just awful.
And it was orange.
Orange
was the color.
Yeah, orange was plus 400. Everyone picked the purple because of the Kobe Bryant thing. It was like favored, like minus 150, but an upset, orange. And we didn't tell you on the show, I had heads on the coin toss and Andrew had tails.
Tails never fails.
5 straight Super Bowls with tails winning. So keep that in mind next year. Trey Van Winkle said Indiana 67, Michigan State 63.
Yeah.
That's tough. Mm-hmm. So that's all the comments we have. Make sure for this episode you comment your favorite XFL teams. Make sure you comment who you're fading this week, who you're tailing, and just anything you have to say about the show. And also comment if the mic, I have a new mic, so hopefully that sounds better. Let us know. So that's kind of, we're at the wrap-up point of the show. Anything you have to say?
I did say we'd give some way too early Super Bowl favorites. Mm-hmm. We'll just give like our top 3 that we think can win the Super Bowl next year. Top of your head, do you have an order? Not necessarily odds, but just favorites.
Right. I'll throw up the odds here. Okay, here are the Vegas odds for pretty much whatever I put up. Yeah, way too early. You might have noticed the Dallas Cowboys are the second favorite team to win the NFC. is Mike McCarthy that special? No. I'm a Saints fan, and I'm going to tell you right now, if Breeze does not retire, hopefully he does not. I'm very worried about it. I love the Saints to come in and win the NFC like usual. This shouldn't be a problem for Breeze and his team. Not a lot of people are going. Not a lot of people are moving around. It should be the same squad, and they're going to be hungry as hell to win a Super Bowl for next year. 370 days away for the next Super Bowl until the Saints are in it and win. So I like the Saints there. As far as the AFC goes, I see no reason why the Chiefs can't do it again. A team to look for. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I like the Chiefs a lot. I don't think the Patriots have any shot with or without Brady.
I mean, my three favorites. Power ranking wise, you got to look at it. Just my three favorites, not in any particular order, but would be the Saints, the Chiefs, and then
my big underdog, the Rams. They're like favored. They're like really high odds, which I know they had a bad season last year, but it's the NFL. Any team can bounce back and come back. That team is good enough to win any game. They just had a really disappointing season last season. So don't count out the Rams. They could definitely come back.
I do think my underdog pick is that Brady goes to the Chargers, and the Chargers will be a dark horse, I think. They were one win away from it last year. Phillip Rivers is god-awful.
I think he's gone.
He's not going back there. If they can get Brady, they have winning experience. A lot of their games went 50-50. Like, they were touchdown games, basically. And I think Brady can still win those because he won't arm punt every third down, basically. I think the Chargers are my dark horse pick. I think those are probably our top teams to look at for Super Bowl next year. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah. One more thing. These are not updated. I just realized I did update them yesterday, but for some reason it didn't save. So I'm going to pop them up here. Here's mine, and then here's Andrew's. So, just ignore those for this episode. Sorry about that. So, yeah, that'll do it for the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and definitely comment. That's the main priority of the show, is to get some communication going. So, thanks for watching. As always, we'll be back next week. Me and Andrew are going to the Illinois-Michigan State game. But we'll be recording before that anyway. We'll talk about that, obviously, in the next show. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.
Tastes good like soul food. Parked up outside in the old school.